My son is graduating college tomorrow, and I just wanted to make a video and talk to him. And I hope that what I'm about to say to him, it'll help you and maybe even help your children. Um, Son, I love you very much, and you know that because I don't miss a chance to tell you. And I'm very proud of you. I don't miss a chance to tell you that either. And when you're wrong, I tell you that you're wrong, but I do so in love and not to condemn you. And tomorrow, all your hard work is going to pay off. You're going to get that college degree. You're doing something that very few people do. And, oh God, it seems, people say, oh, it seems like yesterday you were a little baby and all that. No, a lot has been going on in these last couple of years of your life and mine as well. And you're a grown man now. You've been a man for a while now. I'm just so proud. Forgive me if I ramble a little bit, but this is the day that I hoped and prayed for when you were born. You're my oldest child. You're named after me. You're the whole reason that people call me Pop. You were the first. And I'm real emotional. I just want to let you know what this means to me. In spite of all the obstacles that came in your path, you didn't give up. You didn't quit. You lost all your grandparents while you were in college. Your grandma dear, she passed away. My parents both passed away. And you kept pushing. And I'm so proud of you. You didn't give up. The first school that you went to, it closed right before your last semester. You didn't sit around. You just found another school, transferred, and now you graduate. And I saved this, what I'm saying to you, about to say to you now, until this day. You don't owe your mother and I anything but respect and love, because that's what we gave you. But who you do owe something tomorrow and going forward the rest of your life, you owe your grandparents and your great-grandparents and your ancestors your best effort at all times. You never got to meet my mother's parents. My grandfather, your great-grandfather, was a victim of the Tuskegee experiment. And he had a second grade education. And he would always give me $2. And I never could understand why. And then one day before he passed, when I was a little boy, he said, I always gave you $2 because that's all the education I had. He said, if you want $3 or more, you got to go out there and get it yourself. So when I graduated from college, I went to his grave with my cap and gown on to let him see that his grandson had gotten his education. And it wasn't just about me, it was about him too. You see, every day when I went to class, son, I had to drive past that hospital on campus where he died. And your grandmother, Clara, she worked at the back end of campus by your mother's classroom. And my daddy worked in the front of the campus by my classroom. And every day when I passed by that hospital 4 or 5 times a day, I had to remind myself that my grandfather died in there. And he died because he didn't have an education and people took advantage of him. And I had to get that degree no matter how long or how hard I had to work. I had to stay there until I finished. I owed it to him. You didn't owe us anything. We sacrificed so that you'd have a better opportunity than your mother and I. But you owe it to people like that. And your great-grandmother, who picked cotton so you wouldn't have to, who sharecropped because so you wouldn't have to, so that her offspring wouldn't have to struggle like she did. Your grandfather, Eugene, my daddy, went to Vietnam 3 times. He was fighting in a war for a country that didn't even like him because of the color of his skin. And I asked him one day, I said, Daddy, why did you do that? He said, well, I didn't want to die in a war. He said, I wasn't fighting for the country. I was fighting for my family. He said, if something had happened to me, I know that your mother and you and your siblings would be taken care of. And that's the kind of man that you come from, son. Your grandfather, that's the kind of man you come from. And your grandmother, dear, your mother's mother, she became a nurse. But did she ever tell you why? I'm going to tell you. Racism motivated her and her uncle. Not her uncle, your great uncle. They had a sister that was swimming in a swimming pool when she hit her head on the bottom of the swimming pool. And she had a fractured skull. They rushed her to the hospital to get treatment. And because she was black, they put her to the back and didn't treat her. And she bled to death right there. And your grandmother left Florida. And she said she was going to become a nurse so that nobody else would ever suffer and not get the treatment that they deserve because of the color of their skin. That motivated her. Your great uncle left the South and went to New York and became a police officer because he said he was going to make sure everybody had justice. And that's why. That's why. So that's why your graduation is so important. Not just for you getting a degree. Your ancestors, son. Your ancestors. And then my mother, they would plant cotton in the spring. It would grow and they'd have to pick it in the fall. She couldn't go to school the first 2 months of the school year and the last 2, but she graduated on time. Why he cut this water off? And you owe them. You don't owe your mother now, you owe them. I am so proud of you. Today is your day. I love you, and you go and you make your mark on the world.